The Stoic Path to Power. 13 Lessons to Transform Rejection into Your Greatest Weapon. What if I revealed that every rejection you've faced is actually a monumental opportunity in disguise? The prevailing narrative encourages the pursuit of approval, but true power stems from mastering rejection. We're about to delve into 13 impactful lessons that every man needs to flip the script on rejection, particularly in relationships. Prepare to be transformed, because by the end of this exploration, rejection will be your most potent asset, not your Achilles heel. This isn't about mere resilience. It's about harnessing rejection's energy to propel yourself to unprecedented heights. To truly capitalize on this, stick around for the bonus lesson at the end. It's an important and integral part of this transformation. Many men struggle with rejection, whether it manifests as being ghosted, ignored, or outright rejected. These experiences leave a residue of powerlessness and self-doubt. However, every instance of rejection presents an opportunity to cultivate unshakable inner strength. The first step to transforming rejection into a powerful force is to reject those that rejected you. When someone rejects you, your initial impulse might be to change their mind and prove what they thought about you wrong. The truth is that chasing someone who rejected you to change their mind is a quick way to losing self-respect. Whether it's a boss, friend, or a partner, it doesn't matter. Attention is value, and the more you pay attention to someone who rejected you, the more it devalues yourself. Make it clear that you don't need others' approval, which is a powerful statement. When someone rejects you, they are expecting validation, and to see that you are hurting makes their ego grow. And this is not something you want to offer. By not caring, it makes them see things differently. In today's hyper-connected world, rejection is commonplace. Women are flooded with messages, and there are a million other ways to be rejected. But with most, men don't seem to realize the same thing. Women are filled with attention, and when you take away that attention, it makes them want you more. It helps you protect your dignity and puts the ball back in her court. When you focus on things like your goals and yourself, it shows you have way more to worry about than others. Most times, those others will be the ones to come crawling back wondering what is going on, but you won't care because you will be focused on leveling up. You can think of it as protecting your time. Here's the truth. Emotional control is one of the most alluring qualities a man can possess. Women are biologically wired to test a man's emotional fortitude. When they reject you, they're trying to assess your ability to handle adversity. Do you crumble, begging for their attention, or do you remain composed, calm, and collected? The men who demonstrate composure in the face of rejection are the ones who truly stand out. The ones women gravitate toward because they've proven they're not easily shaken, that they possess something most men lack: inner strength. It comes down to a lack of security. An emotional outburst will show that they now have the higher power. Here's a tip to implement today. When you feel like acting emotionally, count to 10 and then count to 10 again until you can't do it. Make sure that you make your next move from a more calm and controlled place. High-value men don't let people who don't value them take over their minds. If someone rejects them, they shrug it off and keep it moving. They don't spend time analyzing every little thing. Make sure that you don't give your energy to things that don't need it. The key to staying on course is to find someone that can redirect and help move that way. Here's a hard truth. Your value is not determined by someone else's opinion. Just because one person didn't see it doesn't mean that it's not there. It is how you hold yourself. How would you show yourself the power of your opinion? It is not there. It is where you find the greatest opportunity to succeed and to not do what the other person wants. This isn't always easy, though. It will hit them where it hurts. It is important to follow those footsteps to make them all notice how amazing you have become and how it doesn't really matter what they think. Once you are doing your greatest and best things, the opinion of those that weren't nice will be something you don't need to worry about. The goal is to focus on your growth, not for anyone but you. Let's get one thing straight. Cutting off contact is the ultimate power move. People expect contact and for you to maintain contact, which is a great way to lose self-respect. The other way to do this is just to let it roll off of your back. It's about maintaining your own well-being and protecting your mental health as well. They won't have you as their backup option when you implement this, and that's the last thing that you will ever want. After this, they have you on a list where they can contact you at will. They don't deserve your attention anymore, and you shouldn't care about them because they have probably forgotten you. It creates the idea that your plan is worth more. This tactic will help put things in your perspective, not theirs. All in all, you don't want them to hold control, because at that point it makes them get to see where you were hurt. Here's something people often forget. You need to not reveal struggles, and never be a person who people walk on and reject without a second thought. Use all those times and things that you have learned and implement all those things into you. Make this all fuel you and make you the best person. No longer think about opening up or showing weaknesses. Let your pain fuel you and let it rise. Just never let anyone see you break. Lesson 1. Ignore them too. Flipping the power dynamic. When someone rejects you, your first instinct might be to try and win them over, to prove your worth and demonstrate that they've made a mistake. However, chasing someone who has rejected you is the quickest path to losing your self-respect. It doesn't matter if it's a romantic interest, a potential employer, or a friend. When someone pushes you away, your response should be simple. Ignore them too. While this might sound harsh, it's not about pettiness. It's about understanding the dynamics of attention and self-worth. Attention is a currency, and the more attention you lavish on someone who rejects you, the more you devalue yourself. You have to demonstrate that you don't need their approval, and that is the ultimate power play. Ignoring them is effective because it flips the power dynamic. When someone rejects you, they anticipate a reaction. They want the validation of knowing that you care, deriving an ego boost from seeing you hurt or disappointed. However, when you turn the tables, acting as though their rejection doesn't matter, it disrupts their expectations and throws them off balance. Suddenly, they're the ones questioning their decision, wondering, why didn't he chase me? Did I make a mistake? In that moment, you've regained control. In today's dating landscape, particularly with the prevalence of apps like Tinder, Bumble, and Instagram, rejection is more public and commonplace than ever before. You send a message and are left on read. You go on a date and are ghosted. These scenarios have become the new normal. However, most men fail to recognize that women are drowning in attention. Their inboxes are flooded with DMs, their matches are stacking up, and likes are pouring in, making your attention relatively cheap. When you withdraw, ceasing to give them what they're accustomed to, you become rare, and in a world of abundance, rarity equates to power. The next time she leaves you on read, ghosts you, or rejects your advances, don't text her back, don't call her, and don't stalk her Instagram. Simply go silent, focusing on your own life, your ambitions, and your goals. You have bigger things to worry about than someone who can't recognize your value. By ignoring her, you're not only protecting your dignity, but also putting the ball back at her court. More often than not, she'll be the one who comes back, wondering why you suddenly disappeared, but by then, you'll be so focused on leveling up that you won't even care. Lesson 2. Don't react emotionally. Mastering stoic indifference. Rejection stings. It triggers that primal part of your brain that screams, I'm not good enough. You might experience anger, frustration, or even desperation, feeling compelled to react, to prove your worth, and to defend yourself. However, this is where most men stumble. The moment you react emotionally, you relinquish your power. That emotional outburst, that pleading text, or that angry rant becomes a gift to the person who rejected you, signaling that their rejection has control over you. Emotional control is one of the most attractive qualities a man can possess. Women are biologically wired to test men's emotional resilience. When they reject you, they want to see how you handle it. Do you crumble, begging for their attention, or do you remain cool, calm, and collected? The men who maintain composure in the face of rejection are the ones who stand out, the ones women gravitate toward because they've proven they're not easily shaken, that they have something most men lack, inner strength. When you react emotionally, you're essentially feeding the other person's ego, demonstrating that they have power over you. Whether it's a woman who rejected you after a date, a friend who ghosted you, or even a boss who passed you over for a promotion, your emotional reaction is a signal that you're not in control. The more you react, the more they withdraw, having you on a leash, and every time you let your emotions run wild, you're tightening the noose. The next time you're hit with rejection, whether in dating, work, or life, take a deep breath, acknowledge the emotions, but resist acting on them. Let the storm pass, and once you've regained your composure, make a rational decision. Do you really want to give someone who rejected you the power to control your emotions, or are you going to reclaim that control and rise above it? A simple exercise is to count to 10 whenever you feel the urge to react emotionally. Then, count to 10 again, continuing until the urge subsides. Once you're in control, make your next move from a place of power, not desperation. Lesson 3. Remove them from your mind, breaking the obsessive cycle. Most men are slaves to their own thoughts. After being rejected, that person becomes an all-consuming obsession. You replay conversations endlessly in your head, wondering what you could have done differently. Perhaps if you'd said something else, worn a different outfit, or made a better joke, they wouldn't have rejected you. It may be easy to think about them, so you will do it over and over. Overthinking is the death of confidence. Every time you dwell on someone who rejected you, you're giving them power, allowing them to live rent-free in your head. High-value men don't waste their mental energy on people who don't value them. If someone rejects them, they shrug it off and move on. They understand that their mental energy is their greatest asset, refusing to squander it on overanalyzing, overthinking, or obsessing over people who don't deserve it. They focus on themselves, their goals, and their purpose, becoming unstoppable as a result. The problem with overthinking is that it keeps you stuck. Instead of moving forward, you're constantly looking backward, trying to decipher where you went wrong. The reality is that you didn't necessarily do anything wrong. They just weren't the right fit for you. It might not have been the right time, or perhaps they simply didn't recognize your value. Regardless, the more time you spend thinking about them, the less time you're spending on your own growth, and that's the real tragedy. Stop thinking about someone who rejected you by redirecting your focus. Every time they pop into your head, shift your attention to something else, whether it's your work, your fitness, or a new project. Don't let them hijack your mental space. Instead, use that energy to invest in yourself. If you catch yourself obsessing over someone who rejected you, stop, go for a run, hit the gym, or dive into a new book. Anything that takes your mind off them and refocuses your attention where it belongs, on you. Lesson 4. Demonstrate your value. Actions speak louder than words. People value what they can't have. When someone rejects you, they're telling you that, in their eyes, you're not valuable enough. While that assessment might feel brutal, this is where most men go wrong. They internalize that rejection as a permanent statement of their worth, assuming that just because one person didn't see their value, no one else will either. However, your value isn't determined by someone else's opinion. The simple truth is, you are good enough. The best way to show them, and yourself, that you're valuable is to demonstrate it through action. Success is the best revenge, not because you want to get back at them, but because it proves to yourself that you're more than what they thought. That's the best mindset to put yourself into. When you focus on your growth, your success, and your goals, you become untouchable. People start to notice, realizing that you're not the same person they rejected, that you've evolved and leveled up. Now, they're the ones who feel small. The beauty is, you're not doing it for them. Their opinion of you doesn't matter anymore, because you've proven to yourself that you're valuable, with or without their approval. Just focus on yourself. Focus on a personal goal that scares you, something ambitious, and then work relentlessly to achieve it, whether it's getting in the best shape of your life, landing that dream job, or mastering a new skill. Let your results do the talking. When they see you winning without them, they'll regret ever doubting you, but by then, you'll be too busy living your best life to even notice. Lesson 5. Cut off contact, the ultimate power move. Cutting off contact is a strategic maneuver that goes beyond mere pettiness or manipulative games. It is a powerful declaration of self-worth, a resolute reclaiming of control over your life. By severing ties with those who have rejected you, you erect an impassable barrier of self-respect, unequivocally stating that you will no longer permit access to your energy, attention, or emotions. It also will protect your mental state as well. It may be tempting to maintain contact with those who have spurned you, clinging to the hope that they will eventually recognize your value and reverse their decision. However, prolonging contact only serves to diminish your self-worth, relegating yourself to the status of a backup option, readily available should they deign to reconsider. You deserve far more than to be a mere contingency plan in someone else's life. The moment someone rejects you, the appropriate response is to sever all ties, effectively removing them from your sphere of influence. By implementing such tactics, not all people will stay on your good side. All in all, when you have those moves, you can show yourself respect in the end. Severing contact isn't a vindictive act, but rather a protective measure. Those who have rejected you forfeit the privilege of knowing what transpires in your life, of witnessing your triumphs, struggles, or personal evolution. You construct a fortress of self-respect, relegating them to the exterior, unable to penetrate your inner sanctum. Cutting off contact creates an aura of mystery, sparking curiosity and speculation in the mind of the rejecter. Deprived of insight into your activities and emotions, they may begin to question their decision, wondering if they have inadvertently relinquished something of value. Most men operate under the misguided assumption that maintaining contact increases their chances of winning back the affections of those who have rejected them, believing that proximity will eventually sway their opinion. However, continued presence only serves to diminish your value, communicating that you are readily available and that their rejection holds little consequence. When faced with rejection, refrain from contacting the individual in question. Resist the urge to text, call, or engage with their social media profiles. If necessary, implement a complete blockade to safeguard your mental and emotional well-being. It communicates that you value yourself too highly to be relegated to the role of a backup plan, a message that resonates far more profoundly than any string of words could ever convey. Lesson 6. Prove them wrong, igniting your inner fire. Rejection, rather than being a sign of failure, serves as a catalyst for growth, igniting a fire within you that propels you towards greater heights. When someone doubts you, dismisses you, or rejects you, they're not merely rejecting your present self, but also your potential, providing you with the fuel needed to unlock untapped reserves of determination and resilience. The best part is to get over their approval. You will never see this as their thing, but just all you. In essence, there won't be any limitations of showing what can set you free and show you who you are. The new you won't let you, and is more what you are made of than any dream that they have set. This will help you in a great way, because of what can stop them will then also be known to you. You know that you, in your heart, will have everything you need. The only thing this means is that you are always going to make a good change when they have the power that you want, to use it as the fire that only you have. You need to then go high and to do and to meet those higher exceptions. You will let them know that their power is going to be what sets the future. When they have doubted you, when you were getting rejected, you can start on the life and what goes on to show to others the power of their help. But one thing you need to keep in mind is what you're going to feel will keep you in a better position. This is a great way to keep living and to let those around you know of the great life ahead by showing the kind of self that you will continue to do. You will in time become great at the work. With this, it also gives great power. It does put others into new high ideas. And in ways, it was always about power. But what is there to say if that gets you farther than you could get the heart to think at the beginning? Always make sure to be thinking of others, but to care most about the self. Because with great power comes great respect and responsibility. Lesson 7. Go out and have fun. Reclaim your joy. It hurts to be rejected, so you don't want to sit around feeling sorry for yourself, not giving yourself the love and care you deserve. You are also not wasting your time thinking about where this all went wrong, or even take up all your nights just sitting there thinking about others. You will let yourself feel like you have not broken. To stop yourself from taking things so deeply to what has happened and see that the life should go on and you will find a way, as long as you put that time into yourself. When you have the joy you deserve, that people will not be able to not recognize you. It isn't to be with others, but to not care about them and just that joy. The joy also doesn't have to change just to get to them, but to just let the love flow and make you feel like you have found everything that is worth it in the joy. To be with someone who is positive and have the confidence and to give and set themselves in the ways that are needed for growth and all. It will also bring to you a time that gives back and not just takes. If that's something you want to do, this next weekend call up your friends, do something new, or go to a town where you have never been. It can be new or what has been done before. What matters is that you have fun while doing this. While you're doing this, and if you want, you can document this all for those around you to see. Most of all, show the self, and not always the world, that you are still thriving without them around. Lesson 8. Build your social status. Elevating your sphere of influence. Often people do not admit that the reason for dating comes because of your status. But if it is in great relations to status and social cues, it makes yourself more the individual. It also means there is a draw to you. And how do you obtain this power? It is about being able to move among high respect and a level that most try to have and obtain. If you want to use this to be someone better, it will come down to using it, not wasting time and energy. It's not about getting into others' approval. Make sure to focus on yourself. All will look up to you. Also make sure to have some people as leaders to see and show the world what goes down when they do things. The good and the bad. This will help show yourself what to do and what not to do. It is best to lead because it has to do with yourself, which also makes it have to do with what is to lead you. If it is the greatest and the right one, everything will be great from there on out. These can have benefits as well, and maybe that is what helps you in the end to do things and want things to not get done as normal or whatever has happened to you before. When you try and don't end up in a place with others, then you know you're going to be on track with what makes things right and will change your life. Lesson 9. Act like they don't exist, reclaiming your reality. To be with someone who doesn't want you, and then you see them. Don't acknowledge them or go far enough to care. Don't give them a second thought, and just leave them there in the wind. It is most often not about playing, as well as making it a point that you don't want someone that doesn't make your own validation or to be good. All that the time and effort will be going to, and it will be going nowhere. Lesson 10. Give them the silent treatment, protecting your peace. The silent treatment gives a high focus on trying to protect peace and to regain all that is yours when something may hurt you and where a lot can be. It just goes to protect all of the energy. If the heart is open, you have to let it out to heal, and this is an amazing way to help and protect that side, with not just validation and making what is right. If they take too much time to answer, or if their actions don't reflect on what happens, then your time to shine and to move to is now. Also, silence is better than words. All in all, it will all get better. As well as a test of time and power, it can help you more to see what to not go after and not worry about. Lesson 11. Don't beg for attention. Embracing your inherent value. It is common to try and say that you do. This is one of the problems. Always have that power. All people have expectations as well. Never rely on the attention. It is not about always begging. The need for people is not a value. If it is in that way, to get more from a life that may not even be a prize for you. Just take that in mind. When you seek that, you may get that, but those aren't always great for you. With what happens, it is the best way for it. Not begging for the person, because it isn't someone who can give what you want. In essence, find someone who can give all that is needed and you cannot need it, but you can feel more grateful. Lesson 12. Be kind, but emotionally distant. The art of controlled detachment. If you don't want them to take things completely or to ask for a new relationship, just show that there's going to be good without even being so nice in order to win. The focus is to be a great person who can keep going with respect. Just don't let them see that what they did had the impact. What is going to be great is to just be in a place that you know what is happening and to not always get down for them. This just shows you can move on well. And to just be a better person. Show respect. Lesson 13. Never reveal your struggle. Maintaining an unbreakable facade. There's always going to be some that does not know what is happening or want to make the choice of what is to be and what is not, but make sure to let them know that you are doing and in charge with a better mood to go with a great energy as well. As it may have not been you, there will be, and there is what the people want, and that is not something you may ever know. If things don't match for something or for the people, then there's just something that won't be all there. Let that struggle make what is in the heart, make it all feel right. In the best cases, things will always lead to the person or person that is for you. Things will make people in your mind know that there could be only you to live and only you to feel like how you were, not the other people, and there has to be trust for you. Bonus lesson: rejection is redirection, embracing the universe's plan. Congratulations for making it this far. As you see, it has become an important role to make it that no one has taken or made power in a path for what the people have or may want. This helps get you right. Do not give them what is with you. There is something else that makes a great or big door to those things that you want to go see and do. Most people stop, but there is more. So trust in yourself. If a moment was never yours, then the trust has to go back and set new steps in those areas of what is to come from this rejection. Set aside the great and new opportunities as well that come. Let it not be just that you get back from it. Be great with every piece of yourself to help to be the way to start that. This isn't a rejection if you set it into a redirection, which has to be done all the time for yourself. Conclusion: with having each of these things done and said, this will in turn keep you stronger, keep you more sure of those things and people you love and see. If people do want you, then they need to rise to every single thing there was from the very start and then go.